Welcome to Ireland Daily News. Today is the 23rd of June 2026. Story 1. Met Éireann has issued a status yellow high temperature warning. The warning comes into effect at 12 p.m. tomorrow. It will continue until 9 a.m. on Friday. Met Éireann expects temperatures to exceed 27 Celsius. Mark Bow says inland areas will see the highest temperatures. Temperatures could reach 31 Celsius on Thursday. Coastal areas will be cooler due to sea breezes. Nighttime temperatures will stay above 15 Celsius. This will lead to uncomfortable sleeping conditions. Met Éireann advises keeping windows closed during the day. The hot weather will end by the weekend. Friday will bring rain and cooler temperatures. The Road Safety Authority warns drivers about sun glare. Drivers should wear sunglasses. Do not wear flip-flops while driving. Never leave children or pets in the car. Story 2. Fuel protest organizers are planning new blockades against a 32-cent diesel price hike in August. Emergency fuel excise reductions introduced by the government in April expire on the 31st of July. Agricultural contractor James Gogan said on TikTok that protesters are discussing using heavy machinery to blockade Dublin, airports, and ports. They may also target European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen during her visit to Ireland. The protesters aim to stop the government from implementing future carbon tax increases. They plan to hold public meetings across the country to finalize their protest strategy. The government previously provided a €500 million relief package to end earlier protests. However, protesters argue that the removal of these supports necessitates a return to action. They have stated that they will resume their protest activities. These actions could worsen traffic congestion during Ireland's EU presidency. Story 3. New research from Barnardo's shows 36% of families were in arrears on energy bills over the last 12 months. This figure is an increase from 32% in 2025. The report found 30% of parents struggle to provide enough food for their children. 44% of parents skipped meals or reduced portions to ensure their children had enough to eat. 16% of families reported using a food bank. 55% of parents were concerned about fuel costs. 17% of families cut back on medical or health appointments. 80% of families believe the cost of living crisis has negatively impacted their children. Children in single-parent households are more likely to be significantly impacted. Barnardo's is calling for increased child support payments and fuel allowances. These measures are needed to meet the goal of ending child poverty by 2030. Story 4. The latest report from Daft.ie shows Dublin house prices have fallen. This is the first annual decline since 2023. Selling prices in June were 2.3% lower than a year ago. In contrast, Munster and Connaught Ulster see strong asking price inflation. Prices there rose by 6.3% and 8.8% respectively. Nationally, average asking prices rose by 3.8%. The average price has now reached €445,000. Economist Ronan Lyon says the market is moving at two speeds. Supply is recovering in cities, but remains tight in rural areas. There are just over 13,100 second-hand homes for sale nationwide. This is only about half of the pre-pandemic norm. Tisha Simon Harris says the government is adjusting rural planning guidelines. The move aims to make it easier to build homes locally. Proposals are expected to reach the cabinet this month. Story 5. A coalition of 12 Irish homeless service providers is greatly disturbed by the housing bill being rushed through the Oireachtas. The bill was presented to the Dáil on the 3rd of June. It requires social housing applicants to prove legal and habitual residency. Housing Minister James Browne says the changes aim to clarify qualification rules. But Charities warn this will worsen the homeless crisis. It will negatively impact returning citizens, domestic violence survivors, and vulnerable groups. The coalition includes Crosscare, DePaul Ireland, and the Dublin Simon community. They are calling on James Browne to pause the bill for full consultation. They demand an independent appeals mechanism for emergency accommodation. The bill is now moving to the third of 11 legislative stages. Story 6. More than 4,600 people from 139 countries will become Irish citizens at ceremonies in Killarney. These ceremonies will take place over today and tomorrow. Applicants will make a declaration of fidelity and loyalty to the state. Judge Paddy McMahon will preside over these 5 ceremonies. He will confer the attendees with Irish citizenship. The new citizens will undertake to observe the laws of the state and respect its democratic values. Minister of State for Migration Colm Brophy attended today's ceremony. He stated that citizenship represents the freedom to participate in society and vote. The Department of Justice has recently launched a new webpage to assist with naturalization applications. The page provides guidance on identity proof and residency requirements. That's all for today's Ireland news. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow.